Crystal Palace 3, Arsenal 0. Oh my god, man. This is the worst result. I literally just finished watching the match and I wanted to sit down for a bit before I make this video, but I just couldn't, man. That was the most frustrating game I've ever seen as an Arsenal fan. I mean, from the start, we were so bad. But before we get into the match, let's just, get in order. Let's just first look at the lineup. I mean, when you look at the lineup, okay, there were some few changes today. Firstly, Kieran Tierney replaced with Tavares because we've just realized Tierney has an injury. We also have had Smith Rowe back in the team for Martinelli, which I found very, very confusing because you see the player Martinelli is, man. What? I'm so surprised Arteta didn't play Martinelli tonight. But other than that, yeah, that was still a good enough team to go beat this Crystal Palace team, considering they didn't have Eze. And I forgot the other young winger they have. They didn't have them. That was still a good enough team to go and beat Crystal Palace. But it's just typical Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, let's just look at the first half, okay? First half, we are 2-0 down. Ben White and Gabriel absolutely bullied today by their striker Mateta. I don't know, I've never heard of this guy, I've never seen him play, but he's a unit, proper unit, and he's a proper striker. He was getting up in Gabriel's face and Ben White's face, and he absolutely bullied both our strikers, absolutely bullied them. He was a constant threat the whole game, and he deserved, and his performance was deserved because he got a goal. The second goal then you go on to the second goal. I mean, what is Gabriel doing? There was no need to do that. He slides in, thinking he's going to get the ball, flies in, misses the ball. Ayew gets the ball. There's no one in front of him because Gabriel is gone. Runs in, shoots, scores, 2-0, game's done. And, it just made it worse because I'm looking at the first half and I'm thinking, we don't even look like we're going to score. And this carries on. Man. And second half comes on and I'm like, okay, we need a change. We need something to change. And that's what Arteta did. He brought on Martinelli and he took off Tavares, who I think didn't play well today. And he deserved to be substituted off. So Martinelli comes on. And now look, second half, there's a bit of energy, okay? There's a bit of more drive. We go to 3 at the back, but it was too little too late because Crystal Palace just parked the bus and that's it. They were just soaking in the pressure, and every time they went on attack, they just looked way more dangerous than us, man. They looked way more dangerous. I mean, the likes of Zaha absolutely running rings around Cedric, man. But there was one moment where we could have gone back in the game, and it was a chance by Smith Rowe who got the ball fell to him, and he should have scored that, man. I know some fans might make an excuse, but he should have went and scored that. And now what makes it worse is Thomas Partey coming off injured, man, and that is just something we don't need because our options, we don't have many options, man. Like, I mean, the midfield options we have, like, if you just look at the bench today, we have like Martinelli, Nketiah, Sambi Lokanga, and you look at the other 3 options, who is going to make an impact, man? And that is just the downside to this Arsenal team because we have a good 11, but we don't have any good backup. Okay, so before Partey gets, I forgot when he gets injured, but Crystal Palace get a penalty. They go on the counter, Martin Odegaard. I mean, I'll talk about Odegaard in a bit, but a stupid tackle from Odegaard. He knows Zaha is a player that is going to have any slight touch you give to this guy, especially in the box, man. He's falling down. Penalty, they score at 3-0, game's done. And other than that, there's nothing to talk about that game other than Crystal Palace absolutely bullied us, outplayed us. They were first to every single ball. It was one of the worst performances I've seen from this Arsenal team in a very long time. But I mean, okay, now we're going to look at some of the key players. I mean, firstly, let's just look at Lacazette, okay? Lacazette is a player that we know he's a player that's looking like he's going to leave this summer, and I don't want to hear any contract extension. This guy needs to leave. He's just not good enough. You just look at the other striker these guys had. Mateta, I've never heard of this guy, and he caused more problems to Arsenal than Lacazette did to Crystal Palace. And one is guess who's the £50 million striker? Lacazette. But you wouldn't know that if you saw this game. Lacazette is just not good enough, man. He doesn't have any presence about him. He has no threat. And then we just talk about another player, Martin Odegaard. I love this guy, but today he must have dropped a minus performance. Absolutely terrible, man. The ball, every time he gets the ball, he just bounces off his feet. He had a trampoline touch today. One of the worst performances I've seen by Odegaard. And what frustrates me is I keep defending this guy, but in big games, man, it just seems the occasion gets to him and he just disappears. And Granit Xhaka today, another player, absolutely useless. Crystal Palace nullified Thomas Partey, which meant Granit Xhaka was absolutely useless. The guy, they had nothing. He's so slow, and he just means that every time he gets a ball, he has to take 5 to 10 touches before he passes, because he's too busy looking and he's too slow. When someone comes to him, when he gets pressured, he will lose the ball or he'll fall on the floor. For me, man, I don't know if I can say, but I genuinely think this was a big blow in our top four race, because this is a team that we should have beaten, because our upcoming games, such as Southampton away, we also got West Ham away, Manchester United, we got Chelsea, we got Tottenham. These are the games that were probably going to drop points, and this was a game that we needed to win. In case we drop points in those harder games, we at least have a win. Like, these wins are the ones that will, just cushion our fall. But now we've lost this game, and which means those games, like the Chelseas, the Manchester United, the West Hams, the Tottenham, have even more pressure. There will become even more pressure on us to go get a win, because now we know, because we've lost to teams like Crystal Palace, and now we have to win this game. And I don't know if we can beat some of those teams, especially considering the way we played today. I mean, for me, look, consider how bad Spurs are. I don't know how they're still in the top four race with Kane. But with Kane and Son, they're always a threat. And with Antonio Conte, man, you just know Conte is not going to let this slip, man. And that is the biggest worry for me, because if Spurs get that top four, it's the biggest boy job I've ever seen. And I just want to say one thing: Vieira needs some credit, man. This guy has been ridiculed here. I mentioned in my last video, he was predicted to be sacked at the start of the season. He was predicted to get Crystal Palace relegated, and he has completely changed Crystal Palace. I'm watching them today, man. They look so confident with the ball. They have an attacking plan. They know how they're going to play. They play with the youth. They look so energized, man. And that is something that Arsenal didn't look today, which was so worrying. I mean, you can see from the table, they're up to 9th place now. And, man, I don't know, man. I mean, this just puts up the debate, like, did Arsenal get the wrong manager? I mean, should we have gone for Everard? For me, right now, look, yeah, we're 5th right now. We're on level points with Spurs with one game in hand, but that game in hand is against Chelsea. I think today was just a reality check for a lot of Arsenal fans. A lot of fans were talking about 3rd place already, man. We didn't even get 4th place, and some of them are talking about 3rd. It's just a reality check some Arsenal fans needed. For me, I don't know what we do from now. We have to just go beat Brighton, no excuse. But now, I don't know, like, what Sambi Lokanga has to play, Tavares has to play, Cedric Suarez has to play. I mean, some of the options we have, they're just not good enough. Like, I don't know how Sambi Lokanga and Granit Xhaka are going to function in that midfield. I don't know how Tavares is going to play. And look, I know a lot of fans are going to blame Tavares today, but he's not the reason why we lost today. The likes of Gabriel and Ben White, absolutely shocker performance today. Martin Odegaard missing. Lacazette, just no threat. Osaka missing again. For me, it's just not on Tavares. We have to go beat Brighton. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just so disappointed and so frustrated. Anyways, let me know in the comments how you feel about this result. If you're still confident about top four, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.